Hi and welcome to this video called Is Multiple Domains Helping or Hurting My Page Rank on Google? So I wanted to make this video because I talked to a client about this some time ago, and the client had multiple domain names pointing at the same domain, and they experienced a clear drop in page ranking on Google a few years after doing this, and they wondered why this was. So I just wanted to talk to you about this and tell you what this is good for, if this practice is any worth to companies, and if so, how to do it correctly so you won't so it won't hurt your page ranking. In this video I'll be answering these two questions. Number one, should I have multiple domains? And number two, how do I redirect my domains without getting spanked by Google? So there are actually several good reasons why you should have multiple domains pointing at the same domain or your host or main domain website. And as you can see on the diagram here, I used my own website or my own domain name as an example. So at first, the first one, you can see I've spelled my name incorrectly, and this is actually a pretty good way to help people find your domain name. Often people will spell your company name incorrectly, especially if you have a to some people weird name like mine. So helping them along by figuring out the most common misspelled way and redirecting from this would help your customers. Number two is if your company has a sort of an alias that you use in some cases. In my case, I use Real Chris Rathje as my Twitter handle, as my YouTube channel name, and so on. And this could be, like Coca-Cola using Coke as another way of branding themselves. So this way you can have more common names pointing at the same website. Also, the cred.com, I tried to be a little creative and create a abbreviation, and sometimes if you have a long company name, an abbreviation could be an answer to make it easier for people to type in the domain name or the web address, but be careful with abbreviations because they can be hard to remember for people. The next one, freeflashcms.com. I actually don't own this, but I did create a free Flash CMS system that you can download on my website, and you can use product names to redirect to your website too. If people know this brand and know these products, you can buy the domains and redirect to one website. And lastly, flashlogic.dk, that was my old company name, and when I changed name to my own name, I redirected to the new domain. So if your company has changed name or rebranded at one time, it would be beneficial to redirect from the old domain if people know this better. So next up, we'll look at how to do this correctly. And I will say, there is a lot of reasons why you can use this, but bear in mind that focusing on your main website, your main domain is pretty much what you want to be doing at the beginning. This is, these types of situations with product names or spelling the domain name incorrectly and so on. I they they are helpful for people to find your domain, but I wouldn't focus on this at the beginning. There's a lot more different ways to help people find your website than doing this. So bear this in mind. And yeah, let's take a look at how to redirect the right way. So how do I redirect my domain without getting spanked by Google? And getting spanked by Google, by this I mean this hurting your page ranking on Google. If you do this incorrectly, Google will see this as an attempt to sort of game the system, or cheat, and they will punish you for doing this. And a lot of times people get punished because they really don't know better. They're not trying to game the system, they're not trying to cheat or anything, but they don't know how to do this. So two common mistakes people do is they IP redirect. So they will have their main domain name, and they will have maybe 4 or 5 domain names that are IP redirected. So it's sort of like having one website with 4 or 5 different addresses pointing at it, and Google don't like this. They see this as trying to cheat the system. Another way is using what is called a 302 redirect, and the 302 redirect is sort of a software redirect you can do in PHP, for example, and just send people to the new or to the main domain name. But the right way to do this is using what is called a 301 redirect, a permanent redirect, and you could do this several different ways. You can do this by changing the HT access on your server. You could do this by installing some code, some PHP code, some ASP code. There's a lot of different ways of doing a 301 permanent redirect. So talk to your web designer about this, or if you want to know more about this, I would make a video about it. But it is getting to a more nerdier point. But remember to do this the right way. If you do this the right way, you can actually have a lot of different domain names pointing at the same website without it hurting your Google page ranking. But as I said, focus on getting your domain right, getting the right domain name for your company, and so on, and figure out these things later on. But if you have redirected domains, check out if you are doing this correctly, so it won't hurt your page ranking. So thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to type them in the comment section below, or hit me up on email. Feel free to connect with me on Facebook and Twitter, or subscribe to my channel. You'll always this way be up to date with new videos, and I usually put out new videos every Friday if I'm not sick, as I've been a couple of times this January. So don't be a stranger. See you later. Bye.